Welcome to today's webinar, Key Tactics to Recruiting in a Market Shift, hosted by MAPS coach Rich Rector. Before I kick it over to him, I have three quick announcements. Please note this meeting is being recorded. I'll share the link in the chat momentarily to our MAPS YouTube channel where the recording will become available within 24 hours. Currently, everyone is on mute. However, we do value group participation. So we ask if you have any questions for Rich, please type them into the chat box following the meeting. If you have any questions about today's call or any other coaching programs, please don't hesitate. Email fasttrack, FASTTRACK @kw.com. That's all for me, Rich. The floor is yours.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate that, Graham. All right, guys. So thank you for being here. We're going to go through some great tactics right now to really capitalize on the shifting market. My name is Rich Rector. I've been a MAPS coach for about 15 years, been in the business for over 30. And this is my thing, recruiting. So thanks for being here. Hopefully you'll walk away today with some great tips and strategies that you can use and some great things to think about. So let's just jump right into it. So in a shifting market, as we know that we're in, the number one thing that we want to do is create hope. Okay, we want to create hope. We've got all of these agents that are coming off, the holidays. We had primarily a slower shifting market fourth quarter in their business, and then we had the holiday break, and now they're a little bit lethargic. They're coming off the holidays into the new year with a lack of momentum. Right. So we need to give, and there's a lot of fear because of the market change and their business is down. And we know that 80% of the agents in our entire industry have never been through a market correction. They weren't in the business 13 years ago during the last shift. So they don't really understand what's going on. And a lot of them are fear-based, rightfully so. There's a lot of them that are going to be getting out of the business. For those of you that don't know these stats, I'll share these with you. During the last market downturn 13 years ago, 45% of the agents got out of real estate. Many brokerages got out of real estate. And our company doubled in size and tripled agent productivity. So we've seen this before. This is our time. We thrived in this. We created the shift, book, obviously, and those tactics, and we know what to do. The great opportunity is that 80% of the industry is freaking out because they don't know what to do. A lot of these people got in the last couple of years where money was falling out of the sky. Now all of a sudden, we're in a reality market and they're like, I don't like this. This is not what I signed up for 2 years ago. I like just having people calling me and wanting to buy houses and having 20 offers on a property. Okay. So we've got to create hope. We got to create hope. How do we create hope? Right, we're gonna talk about that today, of how you create that hope. We want to be first to the market creating the hope in your community. Meaning we want to have urgency. We want to have urgency in our actions, because you're going to see a tremendous amount of experienced agent movement over the next 90 to 160 days. You're going to see a lot of people changing companies, and you're going to see people that are getting out of the business. So with that, the people that are changing companies, we've got to create urgency in terms of our actions and what we're doing to create hope, to double down on lead generation, marketing, everything that we're doing right out of the gate, because agents are looking for answers right now. We need to create that hope. So let's talk about how to do that. So first of all, in terms of doubling down on lead generation, we need to look at what is it that you're going to be doing right now in the month of January? What can you do to double down on lead generation? One is use the MOFers. I'm going to post in the chat right now some MOFer texts and verbiage that I wrote over the last 30 days that is getting some great results. Myself personally, with my market centers, we're setting appointments with experienced agents using these. We've already hired agents from those in the last couple of weeks. So, and I have clients that are doing the same thing. So take a look at those MOFers. You don't have to look at it right now. There's a lot of stuff in there. Just click on it. That'll be in your, and on one of your tabs, and you can look at it after the webinar here. So we've got to create hope. We got to create urgency. We have to create excitement. We have to get these agents to recognize that we've got this. Yeah, the market's changed. We've been through it before. Yeah, our company thrived. We came out in flying colors. We know what to do, and our company is positioning our agents with competitive edges, positioning our agents to win in the shift, to really thrive in the market downturn. And we're doing things like what? 72 Sold, Team Ridge, the RISE program. We have our communities. We have our advanced agent educations. You know, we have family reunion. We have all these things that we're doing as a brokerage to constantly be putting our agents in a position to win. What's going on in their offices? It's dead, right? The broker may not even be back from the holidays yet, right? There's agents aren't coming in. So they're starting to look at, what am I going to do differently here in the new year if I want to really survive, much less thrive in 2023 as a realtor. So you want to create this story. You know, we're sending out these mofers every single week. We've been doing that for 3 straight weeks: Christmas week, New Year's week, first week of the year, next week. You know, so start with those things. Let the community know that, hey, we have this. Hey, we have that. Hey, we just launched this. Hey, we're pushing this. You know, we've got all these different things because that's what they want. So have urgency. Early adoption on their part is critical. So you want to take the position that who you're in business with really matters right now, and having a sense of urgency, Mr. Real Estate Agent, Mrs. Real Estate Agent, is critical to your success, right? We all know that real estate's a 90-day cycle. So what you're doing right now is going to pay you in 90 days. So we need to act with urgency because production's off by over 30% nationally. So we have to have urgency, waiting and hoping that things are going to change for you or in your brokerage. If you don't have the pipeline and the momentum you need right here in the first quarter, right now in January, that's a problem, right? Because again, who you're in business with matters. All right, follow up with your pipeline. Everybody that you've met with in 2022, you should be reaching out to and reconnecting with. Happy New Year. How is your finish? Do you have good momentum going into the new year? How's your pipeline of business? Asking those questions to create that awareness that, oh my gosh, I don't have any business, and no, I don't have good momentum, and the year started and I'm concerned, and yes, and now we're engaging in a conversation. So ask the right questions. Knowing what questions to ask is important. I just gave you a few there. So follow up with your pipeline. Your pipeline is your best source of recruits right now because you already have rapport with them. You've already spoken to them. You've already met with them. Host monthly events. We've got to be hosting events at least through the first quarter. Have a great event every single month that you can invite outside agents to that they're going to want to attend. Well, yeah, but January's already started. I'm going to have to wait till March or February. No, you could put something together right now. Right? It's only the 6th. So here's an event that we're putting together in my office, and we're taxed for time too, but it's an easy one to put together. It's tips from top producers to kickstart your 2023. Tips from top producers to kickstart your 2023. What are we doing? I'm grabbing 3 of my top agents and we're doing a panel. Easy to facilitate. Ask 4, 5, 6 questions to all the people. Guess what? Agents will show up to that because everybody wants to kickstart their production. You want to be first to the market right now with an event. You don't want your competition to be hosting an event next week or the week after that and having your agents go there. You want to be hosting an event about kickstarting their production because everybody in the real estate community is wanting to kickstart their production right now. Get into relationship with independent brokerages, indies. We've talked a lot about that. Why is that important? It's so important because the indies are the ones that are panicking and freaking out the most and first because they're dealing with this on a larger scale, right? They're seeing their production drop. They're seeing transactions slow down. They're seeing days on market go up. They're seeing and feeling the pain of their agents asking them, what are you going to do for me? As having their agents wanting a higher split, complaining, issues, leaving, retention problems. Those independent brokers are dealing with all of those things that we deal with on a large scale because, again, they don't have a lot of resource and value to give to their people because they haven't had to in the last 2 years because of the market. So get into relationship with them. In that text, that link that I posted, there's some indie conversations in there as well. Take a look at that. There's great letters out there, there's great text, there's great conversations, and there's great verbiage / scripts that you can use to have a conversation with indie brokerages. Those are, in my mind, those are the best tactics to really kickstart your year in the shifting market. And these strategies are going to be great, not only in January, but through the first quarter. Yeah, this is my third market downturn. Okay, so I've been through these before. I've been in the recruiting game for well over 20 years. And this is what works in a market change and a market shift. You've got to create hope. You got to create urgency. You got to double down on lead generation. You have to, use your MOFers, your points of differentiation to give people hope and create curiosity. We've got to really follow up with that pipeline. We have to have great events going on, and the indies are a great group to target. Okay, so I want to also have you take a look at this. Maybe take a picture with your phone and do this afterwards. Yes, there'll be a recording here that you can review it later, but maybe just take a screenshot of this. So I want you to rate yourself when you get done with this webinar as you start the new year here on a scale of 1 to 10. Okay, in these areas, how are you doing to start the new year as you reflect on 2022? How are your recruiting sources on a scale of 1 to 10? How do you do at talking to people on the phone, right? At being consistent and diligent and making calls, right? How do you do at getting agent referrals on a scale of 1 to 10? How would you rate yourself in terms of events on a consistent basis, like we just talked about, an educational event, social events that you're hosting for real estate agents and your people? Co-brokes, how would you rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10 in terms of your co-broke system? What's a co-broke? A co-broke is the other agent on the deal that your agents have, right? So if you guys closed, 1,000 transactions last year, you have 1,000 people that were on the other end of the deal. Yeah, some of them might be double-ended, but you've got, hundreds and hundreds of people that have co-broked with your office in 2022. Broker tours and open houses. This wasn't a thing a couple of years ago because houses sold in 5 seconds, right? Now there's open houses that we can start going back to. These are traditional recruiting strategies that have standed the test of time, that depending on how long you've been a team leader, you may not even have had to do any of these because we didn't really have open houses in the last 2 years. Broker tours, communities, boards are going to start bringing back broker tours. Maybe consider organizing one, yourself with another market center, or you may already have them like we have in our community already, where there's a gathering every week of the real estate agents in the community that they have a meeting, and then they go out on Caravan and look at the new listings. So any opportunity that you have to get in front of a bunch of group of real estate agents at the board, whatever it may be, you want to take advantage of that right now, because what are all those agents talking about? The market, and what are you doing to generate business? How would you rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10 at leveraging your hires, turning each hire into multiple hires, right? Leveraging that person's influence and yourself marketing that out to the community that somebody's joined you, because that gives you credibility and validity, and you're able to get more business from that, more hires. How would you rate yourself at a scale of 1 to 10 in the area of social media, right? Video, are you using video or using texting? You have websites, Facebook. What about marketing? Number 9 there. Scale of 1 to 10. Do you do a good job with smart plans and with drip campaigns and sending out testimonials and these hire announcements of everybody that joined you for the month, right? Your marketing campaign, I'm real into simple, should be: here's who's joined for the month of January. Here's an agent that's winning with one of our benefits and value propositions. and you're invited to an event this month. That's a local drip campaign that could be consistent every single month with those things. And that's what agents want to hear. They want to see, wow, agents are winning. How are they winning? What are they doing? Wow, there's another great event and people are joining over there. What's going on? What am I missing? Why are people going over to Keller Williams, right? And number 10, new agents, right? We're going to see the new agent faucet slow down, which always happens as the market changes. But yet you want to cast a big net and a wider net to get your unfair share of the candidates out there that are available. We've got K-Score, obviously. You've got licensing schools, state lists, career nights, career seminars. So look at what you're doing to double down on those things, especially in the first quarter. This is when people think about career changes. So this is the best time to capture those people. And then leverage. What kind of leverage on a scale of 1 to 10? How would you rate yourself as a leader in running the market center and in terms of recruiting? How's your team, right? I mean, you're a rainmaker. You're running a mega agent office. So like a rainmaker or a mega agent team, they have leverage. So do you have an ATL? Are you leveraging your agent services? What about MCA, ALC, Cyberbacker? What are you doing and what are you going to do to create leverage for yourself this year so that you can scale things? Because these things right here, these sources, the secret to massive recruiting results is having multiple strategies working simultaneously to give you those massive results. It's not just one thing. It's about having great marketing, having great social media, hosting great events, getting referrals from your agents, making co-broke calls, right? Going out and seeing that it's about doing all of these things. That is what creates massive results and momentum. Okay. So I want to also, give you this. And again, I could talk for 3 hours on this. Take a picture of it. This is the recruiting system. Okay. This is what we go through in the Rockstar recruiting program is we go through these key components in depth to the recruiting system, right? You have to have a strategic and predictable recruiting plan. I'm not talking about your GPS for your market center. I'm saying a specific recruiting plan of how do you create predictability for the recruiting goals and results that you want to get. So do you have a specific plan? Do you know what the metrics are? Do you know what has to be done specifically? And do you know who your target lists are? And do you know what strategies work the best for those groups? An indie strategy is different than a new agent strategy. A mega agent strategy is different than a quarter capper strategy, right? And then are you mastering the conversations? Are you understanding that gross equals net and net equals profit? Are you setting appointments for business consultations, not recruiting appointments? What does that mean? Agents don't want to move. They're happy where they're at and they fear change. So we need to be setting appointments for business consultations. We need to be setting appointments to share with them competitive edges and strategies and tools and things that agents are winning with right now in the ship. Not calling them up and saying, hey, do you want to move and change companies? Let's get together and I'll talk to you about KW. You're gonna have massive resistance to that. So use a different approach. You're gonna get those people that want to move anyways. They're gonna respond to the business consultation, business strategy, giving them something of value approach. You got to really know how to do the needs analysis, right? And you really need to know what your value propositions are. This is a key component to the system in terms of being a master recruiter, right? And we have to make sure that we're not selling the benefits, right? There's a whole process with the 10-step recruiting presentation and the needs analysis that causes the candidate to self-discover that they have a need with no solution, and that the solutions are in the benefits that we're presenting because the way we present those benefits with evidence and questions. And those are things that I teach you in the Rockstar recruiting program. Learn the closing process, learn how to handle objections, right? If you want to be a master recruiter, you got to understand how to do that. You got to know what the objection handlers are. You got to know what the objections are. There's only like 6 objections, so you just need to master those. And closing is a natural end to a great presentation. So if you've done a great needs analysis, a great 10-step presentation, closing becomes a lot easier because they've checkmate themselves in the chess game of recruiting, right? And those are things that really you need to master, which will make your life a lot easier. And then really schedule management, right? You know, how are you doing managing your time in scheduling recruiting as an appointment with yourself? Being accountable to that, tracking your numbers so you can see what the metrics is, so that you can scale things if you'd like to scale things with leverage, like we talked about a few minutes ago. Lead follow-up. You have to have a simple lead follow-up system. Guys and gals, 70% of your hires will join you during the lead follow-up phase of recruiting. So what are you sending? What are you saying? How often are you doing that? Do you have a good system for lead follow-up? And then a great transition and orientation process is critical to your success in the recruiting system. The minute that they say yes, that's when the real work starts. How are we coaching them out of their brokerage? How are we helping them with what that conversation looks like? How are we setting them up, you know, during that wait period if we can't get them immediately because they're waiting for a closing? What are the strategies to create urgency and get them to come over now? And what are the strategies to keep them engaged with us if they are going to wait? Okay, that's critical because you've done all the heavy lifting, and then at the 11th hour, you don't want to lose them when they go in and talk to their broker. And if you've been doing this for a length of time, like me, you've been on the wrong end of that, and that's doesn't feel too good. So have that system and understand how you position that recruit and equip that recruit. So when they go back into the lion's den and talk to their broker about moving, you've already pre-handled all the objections and all the things that the red carpet that's going to get rolled out to them. And then lastly, leverage those hires like we talked about, scale of 1 to 10. We talked about having a great recruiting system is being able to leverage the results that you're having so you can create additional appointments and additional momentum. So I wanted to just share that part with you in terms of the system as you start this new year. You know, ask yourself, grade yourself on that. How well are you doing with those different pieces of the recruiting system that I just went through? I wanted to just lastly talk to you about agent mindset. Here, this is what you really need to think about. This is the mindset of an experienced agent, that whatever your strategy is, whatever your approach is, whatever your scripts are that you're going to use, your verbiage, you know, great, but understand where they're coming from, which will help you get better results. Remember that agents fear change. They don't want to move. They weren't hoping that you were going to call them today to set up a recruiting appointment, right? We all know that, right? And it's because there's a fear of change. We're creatures of habit. We don't like to change things as a society. We don't want to move. We're content and we're happy where we're at. We might not be ecstatic. We may not be making money, but yet if they were not happy where they're at, they would be pounding and breaking down our door, right? They would be coming to us. So because of the nature of the mindset of people and realtors in this example, and they, with fearing change, don't want to move and being content enough to stay where they're at, we have to really identify what's going to be our approach. That's why we can't use the do you want to move, do you want to move, do you want to move approach, because of those first 3 things in their mindset. They believe that they're at the best company. If they didn't, they wouldn't be there. Their hot buttons are time and money. Some combination of that. I want to make the most amount of money in the least amount of time so I can enjoy the life I want to live, right? That's pretty much it for an independent contractor. Everything else is kind of a spinoff on that. So your approach should be around those things. Agents are self-interested, meaning they're interested in what they want. They're independent contractors, which is time and money, right? They're not interested in the fact that we just opened a new office, or we're the new team leader, or we want to take them to lunch, or we want to talk about KW. They're not interested primarily in those things. They're interested in what they're interested in, which is how do I make money right now in today's market, especially as it's changing. Number 7, curiosity is created with testimonials and success stories. When you can show and talk about how other agents are winning, especially in this market change, agents are going to identify with that, right? They're going to be receptive to that. And curiosity has to be created in less than 10 seconds. Okay, you have 10 seconds to create curiosity. And you want to use benefit evidence. What does that mean? That means, again, testimonial. So if I want to talk about our advanced stage education, and I want to share about bolds, then I want to have evidence and a testimonial of how somebody, was taking, 7 listings a year, and they took, 5 listings in 7 weeks in bold. Or somebody that, is not being, coached by you, or in productivity coaching, or whatever your situation is. Or if MAPS coaching was doing X amount of deals, now they're doing this. Somebody that was, not using a 36 touch client follow-up system, was doing this, and now they're doing that. So benefit evidence is what sells. So think about that as you're looking at your approach, your strategies, the marketing language you're using for events and everything else. Just understand where they're coming from, okay? Lastly, recruiting assessment. Take a look at this. Where did you get your recruits from last year, right? Go back and reflect on that, dissect that, look at every hire you had and figure out where they came from. The new agents, did they come from a career seminar? They come from licensing school? They come from a referral? Experienced agents, what was the source? Because you want to build on those things. You want to get more from those sources, and that'll help you identify what sources you didn't get anything from that you might want to put more attention around. And then your schedule has to match your goals. You need to consider the challenges and the solutions to overcome those challenges as you start the new year. And then you really need to look at how can you create leverage so that it's not just you and your efforts, but you're getting other people to help you. Again, whether it's ALC, other people in the market center, you're using virtual leverage like Cyberbacker, things like that. What does that look like for you so that you can continue to grow and get bigger numbers? So remember this, guys, that getting better and growing is not easy and sometimes painful. So really in 2023, you want to start getting comfortable being uncomfortable, because we're in a new market. You're in the best position because of the resources, the tool, the track record that we have as a company navigating a shift. But you know what? It's going to be a little bit uncomfortable because it's not like the market was, and that's okay because you're well positioned. Those of you that want to really focus on mastering recruiting and some of the things we talked about and the systems, mastering those recruiting systems and mastering what to say and the needs analysis and doing the presentation. On February 9th, I'm launching my Rockstar Recruiting Program again, okay? This is a program that's been around for 15 years. It's been one of probably the most popular program for recruiting training in our company, right? That we've had, because it's been around for so many years. And it's a 6-month program, right? You can click on that QR code. And for those of you that are on the webinar here, there's a $100 off coupon if you want to participate in that. And that program will allow you really to create the momentum you need, get the answers, have the new updated strategy scripts, all those kind of things. And you're going to be with your peers where you're going to be sharing strategy, best practices and wins and successes and what people are doing. So it's a real inexpensive way for you to be connected and continue to elevate your recruiting skills. We also do weekly prospecting for those of you that want to participate in that. That's optional. And we help you get more appointments by mastering what to say. So it is a great skill building program. It's a great program to keep you focused and going. We do these training sessions. There's 12 of them. They're 1 hour each, and they're every other week. And then we have the weekly lead generation if you want to participate in that. So check that program out. especially if you haven't had the opportunity to go through it. We have many people that go through it multiple times, so take a look at that. If you have any questions, let's take a look at the chat. I really appreciate you guys being here. Let me see if I got some questions here that I can answer. All right. Give you an example. Let's see. All right, so the MOFers. There we go. All right, so you guys got the MOFers. So here's, I'll just give you an example. I have a client, spoke to yesterday on their coaching call. She has 50 people in her database. And so she manually texted out the 72 sold MOFer, right? She's already hired an A agent and a B agent. What's that mean? A capper and like a half capper, right? From that text. Myself and my own market centers, right? I've already gotten 15 appointments, right? That was earlier this week, 15 appointments. We hired a capper already from the text. What are the ones that I'm sending out? Started with 72 sold, Team Ridge, and then I just sent out yesterday, and I'm excited to see what the results are going to be for the 201 database program that KWRI is talking about. Next week, I'm going to be sending out either Shift or the Offer MOFer. So, you know, I'm showing the community that we've got this and we got that, and we're doing stuff to help our agents create momentum in business. And so from a marketing standpoint, even if I don't get appointments, I'm doing a good job telling my story, right? You can post those on social media, you can create an email from it, however you want to utilize those. But I wanted to share that language with you, and hopefully that helps. Okay. All right, let me see. I think I answered all the questions. Oh, yes. Thank you for bringing that up. We are, Jessica and I, Jessica Fox is another phenomenal recruiting MAPS coach, are hosting at KWRI a 2-day intense recruiting event. And that's going to be on the 23rd and 24th of January this month at KWRI. You guys should have seen those emails, those links. If you want more information on that, let me know, and we can make sure that we save you a seat for that. So we've got a lot of great things starting here in the first quarter to help you with recruiting. Thank you so much for being here. Yes, let's post the MOFer link in the chat. So I thought that was already posted. Let's see. Yes, it's already up there. If you can, I'm going to have my cyber hacker repost that. If you can just post that again, Hera, I would appreciate that. So it's at the top of the chat, and that would be great. All right, everybody. Any other questions you want to throw in the chat? Anything else I can do for you that I can help you with as you start the new year? Anything at all? Thank you. I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you so much. All right. We will see you either at the 2-day event in a couple weeks, or I'll see you in the Rockstar Recruiting Program starting on the 9th. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for being here. Take care. Bye-bye. Repost this MOFer link in case you didn't see that. There you go. Yep, thank you. We're all set. Okay, we'll see you guys. Make sure you click on that, and then I'll pull up. If some reason you don't get it, or you need something, just shoot me an email, rich@rectorrecruiting.com, and I'll get you whatever you need. Take care, everybody. Have a great start to the new year. See you later. Bye-bye.